Argentina won 3-2. But the biggest story wasn't the scoreline, it wasn't the comeback itself, and it wasn't even Lionel Messi's goal. The biggest story was a rating debate that became more fascinating with every passing minute. How could Messi miss a penalty, trail 2-0, and still finish as one of the highest rated players on the pitch? And even more importantly, did he actually deserve to be the true S-tier performer? Because while the headlines celebrated another dramatic Argentine escape, the ratings revealed that this comeback was built on tactical courage, overlooked heroes, and one midfielder whose influence extended far beyond the winning goal. By the end of this video, we'll answer one question: who really deserved the highest rating in one of the wildest matches of the tournament? For almost 80 minutes, Egypt looked ready to produce one of the biggest upsets of the World Cup. Yasser Ibrahim opened the scoring with a powerful header from a corner after just 15 minutes, exposing Argentina's vulnerability from set pieces. Then came an even bigger shock. Messi stepped up from the penalty spot with the chance to level the game, only for Choubert to produce a magnificent save that electrified the Egyptian supporters. Argentina controlled possession, but Egypt remained disciplined, compact, and devastating whenever they attacked in transition. A VAR decision denied Egypt a third goal before Mustafa doubled the lead in the 67th minute. At that moment, the reigning champions were staring at elimination. Yet football matches are often decided by momentum rather than possession, and Lionel Scaloni's substitutions completely changed the direction of the contest. Before we discuss Messi, we have to begin with the player who deserves the first place in the S tier, Enzo Fernández. His stoppage time header will always be remembered because it completed Argentina's comeback. But reducing his performance to a single goal misses the bigger picture. Throughout the match, Enzo kept searching for solutions while others struggled to break Egypt's defensive block. He constantly moved between the lines, offered passing angles under pressure, and continued arriving late into dangerous positions even when Argentina looked frustrated. His delivery created Cristian Romero's goal that sparked belief, and then, in stoppage time, he timed another run perfectly to meet Lautaro Martinez's cross with a brilliant header. It wasn't simply the finish that deserved praise. It was his complete midfield performance. While others became emotional and rushed their decisions, Enzo remained composed. That is exactly why his rating belongs in S tier. Argentina's comeback wasn't built on one magical moment. It was built on 90 minutes of relentless influence from their midfielder. Without Enzo Fernández, there is no comeback. Then comes Lionel Messi. At first glance, this might sound strange. A missed penalty usually dominates the discussion, and for many players, it destroys their entire rating. But football ratings measure the complete performance, not one isolated mistake. Messi responded exactly as great players do. Instead of disappearing after the penalty miss, he demanded even more responsibility. He dropped deeper to collect possession, created chance after chance, and constantly dragged Egyptian defenders away from their shape. His equalizing goal completely transformed the emotional balance of the stadium. Suddenly, Egypt looked nervous, while Argentina believed victory was possible again. Messi also provided the creativity that never stopped, even during Argentina's worst spell. His leadership wasn't emotional shouting or dramatic gestures. It was the calm confidence that every teammate could feel. But here's the interesting debate. Was Messi truly the best player? Or did Enzo's complete midfield display have an even greater influence on the final outcome? Hold on to that thought, because we'll settle it near the end. Cristian Romero deserves to lead the A tier. Earlier in the match, questions surrounded Argentina's defense. Egypt repeatedly attacked the space around him, and the opening goal highlighted those weaknesses. But Romero responded exactly when Argentina needed someone to change the momentum. His towering header in the 79th minute wasn't simply a goal. It gave belief back to an entire team. Suddenly, Egypt's defenders had something new to fear. Argentina attacked every cross with greater aggression, and the pressure became relentless. Sometimes defenders define matches through organization. Romero defined this one through timing. Across the pitch stood another A-tier performer, who never deserved to lose, Mustafa Choubert. If football only rewarded goalkeepers based on the final score, performances like this would be forgotten far too quickly. He denied Messi from the penalty spot. He produced several outstanding saves throughout the match. His positioning remained calm despite relentless Argentine pressure. For more than an hour, he looked capable of delivering one of the greatest goalkeeping performances in Egyptian football history. The late collapse doesn't erase everything that came before it. Quite the opposite. Without Choubert, Egypt probably never reaches the closing minutes with a 2-goal advantage. Another player who deserves recognition is Haitham Hassan. Argentina simply couldn't control him for long periods. Every counterattack seemed to involve his pace, his direct running, or his decision-making on the wing. His assist for Egypt's second goal perfectly demonstrated why Scaloni was eventually forced into major tactical changes. Argentina weren't losing because they lacked possession. They were losing because Egypt attacked the spaces behind the fullbacks with incredible efficiency. And that brings us to the hidden story of this match. The B tier isn't about spectacular moments. It's about the players whose work quietly shaped everything around them. Leandro Paredes anchored Argentina's midfield even while the team struggled. His passing kept attacks alive, and one incredible recovery tackle late in the match prevented Egypt from launching what could have been the decisive counterattack. Mustafa Zico deserves enormous credit for his intelligent movement and composed finish that appeared to place Egypt firmly in control. Yasser Ibrahim not only opened the scoring but also defended courageously against wave after wave of Argentine attacks before fatigue eventually became impossible to overcome. Meanwhile, Julian Alvarez rarely grabbed the headlines, but his pressing movement and clever involvement in Messi's equalizer reflected the kind of selfless contribution that often disappears from highlight packages. None of these players completely dominated the match, but all of them quietly influenced the story. Now we arrive at the performances that raise difficult questions. Rodrigo de Paul endured one of his least convincing matches in recent memory. Normally, he provides energy, balance, and defensive coverage around Messi. Against Egypt, he struggled to control transitions and repeatedly found himself chasing rather than dictating the game. His substitution after 65 minutes wasn't punishment. It was necessity. Lionel Scaloni recognized that Argentina required more width and more attacking presence. The moment DePaul left, the tactical picture immediately changed. Mohamed Salah presents another fascinating rating discussion. He assisted Egypt's second goal and remained dangerous whenever Egypt countered. His movement constantly occupied Argentina's defenders, creating room for teammates to attack. Yet, as the pressure intensified during the closing stages, his influence gradually faded. Egypt increasingly struggled to keep possession, and Salah found himself isolated far from goal. Lisandro Martinez also experienced a mixed evening. He lost the aerial battle that produced Egypt's opener and looked uncomfortable whenever Egypt attacked quickly through wide areas. To his credit, he settled after Argentina's tactical adjustments reduced the amount of open space behind the defense. But it remained far from his strongest international performance. Now let's return to the biggest debate. The thumbnail asked one simple question: who deserved S tier? Many viewers will immediately answer Lionel Messi. He scored. He created. He inspired another unforgettable comeback. That argument is completely understandable. But ratings should measure the entire 90 minutes, not simply the emotional moments everyone remembers. Enzo Fernández influenced almost every important phase of Argentina's recovery. He controlled midfield, supplied Romero's goal, continued driving attacks when frustration was growing, and finally scored the dramatic winner himself. Messi delivered the magic. Enzo delivered the foundation that allowed the magic to happen. That distinction is why Enzo narrowly edges the debate as the true #1 performer, while Messi remains an outstanding S-tier player whose resilience changed the emotional direction of the match. Argentina survived one of the toughest tests of their title defense. Egypt proved that discipline, intelligent transitions, and fearless belief can push even the world champions to the limit. But the ratings reveal something the score alone cannot. Great teams rarely survive because of one superstar alone. They survive because leaders emerge across the entire pitch when everything appears lost. Against Egypt, Messi gave Argentina hope. Enzo Fernández gave them victory. And that may be the most important lesson they carry into the next round. Till next, Jiqian Sang Modnum, producer notes.